To discuss Moldova's concerns, we're joined now by Jonathan Katz. He's the Director of Democracy Initiatives for the German Marshall Fund of the United States and joins us live from Washington, D.C. Jonathan Katz, first of all, this idea that Russia now intend to capture the entire South, do you think this was always the aim?
It's been part of the strategy. I think the initial strategy for Mr. Putin was taking over all of Ukraine, including Kiev. And of course, the southern part of Ukraine has been particularly important for him to try to secure, to prevent any type of sea access, Black Sea access for Ukraine. So this is definitely a worrisome situation to hear a Russian general talk about Moldova, about this land bridge. And it could mean that we will see an increased escalation of military in this space. And it's something that the United States, NATO, European partners of both Moldova and Ukraine have to watch carefully.
The Russian general talked about how this area of Transnistria in Moldova, Russians there, or Russian speakers there, are oppressed. Does that kind of ring true?
This is part of a disinformation campaign that Russia uses to justify its actions. We've seen this in the Donbass. We've seen this in other spaces where Russia has used this type of language as a pretext for the use of military force. So there's no oppression of any Russian speakers in this space. It's just another example where Russia is using disinformation to try to achieve its military objectives. And so that's why you're seeing others respond quickly, including the international community, the United States and others, being very careful about what's taking place in Moldova, but also pushing back hard against any type of disinformation, whether we hear this type of language in the Donbass or Crimea or in other spaces. So that's what makes this so tense, is that we've heard this type of language before, including before Russia and Mr. Putin's actions in Ukraine on February 24th.
Right. To get even as far as Moldova, Russia will first, of course, have to take Donbass and indeed the rest of the coastline, including Odessa. Is that possible?
Look, what's in Mr. Putin's mind and militarily, what he wants to do. You see the carnage taking place in Mariupol, reports of mass graves. He's already attacked all parts of Ukraine at one point or another. And so depending on what the objectives are for him, of course, Odessa, that part of Ukraine is particularly vulnerable. Let's not forget we have an effective sea blockade already right now of that area, which is inhibiting or not allowing any trade to go through Ukraine. So it's already had a devastating effect and impact on Ukraine's economy. Given Mr. Putin's track record, everybody's talking about the Donbass, but we still see shelling and attacks occurring across Ukraine, despite what people are saying right now in Moscow and what we're hearing in the international press.
Indeed. Jonathan Katz, good to get your analysis and perspective. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good to speak to you.